Engine 64. Chest
Because
pain.
people always will ask,
171.
what's the worst thing you've ever seen? And there's no way you can give them an accurate answer, because it may be something completely, to them sounds, well, that doesn't sound that bad, but to you, it's how you carry it. So
The key to being able to do this for a long period of time is having an outlet, and everybody has to have their own outlet, whether that is going on a hike, whether that's meditation, whether that's counseling, whether that's going to the gym and pushing a bunch of weights around. You have to have an outlet. If you don't have an outlet, then it's a matter of time before it will start affecting you emotionally, psychologically.
Things we see that you just can't unsee, and you carry it with you forever.
it's the saying, I wish my mind could forget what my eyes have seen. So
Could you guys all tell us a little bit what drew you to this calling of being a firefighter paramedic?
Johnny and Roy.
Might want to explain
Yeah.
that for some of our watchers.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
I know. I haven't seen it, but I know. Who it is.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
I know.
Born after 1980.
I can't believe they let you graduate from paramedic school without at least watching one
I
episode.
know.
The show Emergency from the 70s, Johnny and Roy from Los Angeles County Fire Department, Squad 51. I grew up watching that and Add Up 12. That planted, I think, a seed.
I started volunteering just because I thought, like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. And so I did here at 6, and then started riding out with the crews and realized, like, oh, this is like something I wanted to do professionally. And so once I got hired here, I realized it's a fun job, and there's a lot of cool things you get to do as a fireman, and it also helps people when you do it. And then that's pretty much the exact same when it comes to being a paramedic. There's some cool things you get to do as a paramedic, and you get to do it for a good reason and a good purpose. So it was really the same reason I wanted to work here at District 6. It was just kind of an extension of that for why I wanted to go to medic school after I had a couple years of experience under my belt.
And you got to meet your wife. That way.
That was, yeah, back in EMT school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Didn't hurt.
No.
No.
Ever since I've been little, I've been drawn to emergency medicine, high stress stuff. I enjoy situations like that, and I really enjoy making a difference. Being a paramedic, you can actually make a difference and see that difference firsthand right in front of you. And joining the fire service was just another extension for me to be able to expand what I love doing, and to be able to help people in more ways than just the medicine. And it's always been a situation where I don't like not being good at something, and so I will train and educate and fight so that I can be good at something, so that on our citizens' like worst day ever, they have somebody showing up that is good at what they do and is passionate for what they do. That, and I'm a physical individual that could never spend a career in an office, and the fire service is a great place to not be in an office.
For some of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's kind of an abstract way to get into the profession. We won't get into some of the meat and potatoes of it, but basically, I was asked to leave my house by my father, and didn't have anywhere to go, and I ran into, I was working at a restaurant, bussing tables, and the guy that managed the ambulance company in Grants Pass, he heard me, crying in my cereal about it, and says, hey, why don't you come see me tomorrow, and we'll see what we can do. So I went and talked to him, and he actually found me a place to stay, put me to work in home health care delivery, where I was able to progress from there into dispatch, get my EMT, go out on into the rig, and get my 2 and 3. And I was actually, for them, I was the youngest supervisor, and that was probably in '79. And that's kind of how I ended up getting into the profession. And once I got into it, I found out that it was pretty cool. and it just continued to become more of a profession than a pastime, and I just started moving up the freeway to Vancouver. And
So what would life be like if District 6 didn't have paramedics working here and we just had a fire service?
actually, we ran a call this afternoon, Engine 62, and we were coming back from the call, and the firefighter in the back asked what would happen if the EMS levy didn't pass. You know, what would the district do? Would we lose all the paramedics, and would we stop running EMS calls and stuff like that? And I was like, well, you can't see the fire service not running EMS calls, but whether they would have a paramedic there or not, or the level of service that was provided after that happened, would it be the same? I don't know, but I just, I can't see the fire service without having paramedics available to the public, because withstanding from me, I mean, the guys that run out there now that do the job, that take care of the citizens in Clark County are so important to survivability.
And most of the calls we run at District 6 are medical calls, working as a team with AMR, and if the fire medic side is gone, that's a big half of the partnership that just poof, isn't there to help run those calls. I think that makes a difference on patient outcomes.
I mean, you can look at numbers and say, okay, we, saved 20 people from cardiac arrest this year, but it's extremely immense, like the impact that medics have on families, on people. Because if you look at like just what's important, right, and that's life, quality of life, family, friends, and by being able to provide emergency medicine, medications, treatments, quickly, we can extend people's quality of life. We can keep family members and friends around longer so that they can have 10, 15, 20 years of life, of memories, relationships that they may not have if we don't have the capability of providing those advanced level treatments within minutes.
We talked earlier about how our out-of-hospital cardiac arrest survivability, how those numbers are. If those numbers wouldn't exist, yeah, I don't know. It's maybe because we've been doing it as long as we've been doing it, but to imagine that not being the reality here would be, I can't.
Yeah.
That's
Tough.
Yeah, I mean, especially coming through a pandemic. I would hate to see that as a reality, and I don't think it will be, but it definitely makes you wonder what the community, what the county, what the country would look like if pre-hospital emergency medicine at an advanced level never came to fruition in Miami, Seattle, and Los Angeles. That paper had never been written, what it would look like, and it'd be vastly different. I'm glad it's not.
Tim, we started off with you because you've been a medic the longest out of this group, and you're looking at retirement in a month. Is that right?
That's correct.
Do you have the exact time?
1 day or 1 month, 14 days, 10 hours, 2 minutes, and 20 seconds.
So in 1 month, 14 days, 10 hours, and 22 seconds.
Yes.
Is there anything you would change from what you've done in your career?
Oh, no. Nope, I have no
Do it
regrets.
again?
I would. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. I have no regrets over the path that I've followed. This job has been really good to me. It's gotten a lot of, when you talk to some of the guys in the fire service and they're like, why do you want to become, or anybody, why do you want to become a paramedic? Well, it's because I like to help people, and it's challenging, and I find it, I actually find it fun, taking care of people, and they're like, well, okay, why you need to stress? And I'm like, well, I just have no regrets over the path that I've followed, and I wouldn't hesitate to do it again, because becoming a paramedic is actually what got me hired here, and it's gotten me everything that I've done. Everything I've acquired is because of this job and this profession, and I would not hesitate to do it again. Yeah.